Hey there, everybody. I just want to have a PSA really quick because I thought that there was something really cool in the game, but it turns out that if you actually test it against itself, you're wasting a lot of cards, especially cards that you don't need in your deck. So to show this off, I'm going to have 3 Sounding Musicology enchants in here. Alright, so the very first thing that you can do is Dark Strike, for Storm, of course, onto Sounding Musicology. This is just one spell, for example. With no boosts whatsoever, it's 1425, right? Good. Then you can put Epic on it and make it 1725. Alrighty. Then some are saying, well, you can enchant one of these first. Alright, fine. We'll enchant Sounding Musicology. Now it's 730. So you'd think it would be 300 more than 1725, right? No, it is also 1425. Onto the Shrike. Okay, it's 375. Sweet. Then you put it onto the Sounding Musicology. Oh, look, it is also 1425. So, no matter what happens when you put your shadow with your base spell, it's going to do the exact same thing it would have if it were not pre-enchanted at all. So it doesn't matter if you epic enchant Shrike and then put it on Sounding Musicology. It doesn't matter if you put epic on Sounding Musicology and then fuse Shrike with Sounding Musicology. No matter what, it's always going to go back to the base of 1425. So, make sure that you're not wasting cards and deck space and only enchant it after it is fused. However, I can sharpen this bad boy. I can't sharpen the one that is enchanted with Epic for the final 1725 damage, but I can sharpen blade on this one, which is only the fusion. Now it's going to give 275% blades. Yes. So you still have to choose which enchantment you're going to do as the final one. So we have our base fusion here, 1425, and then get some blades. We have our enchanted fusion, which is 1725 with the same blades as the plain one here. Or we used sharpened blade because Sounding Musicology gives a blade, and it's still the base damage of 1425, but now the blades are increased. So that is what you're just going to have to choose what you want. All right, now we're going to test out one more thing for you. So whether you are increasing the heal or sharpening the blades, or if it is a spell that perhaps gives traps, you can potent those traps, but you will take that instead of the additional 300 damage. So let's use Glowbug as an example for the exact same thing. So Dark Shrike onto Glowbug is a base of 1145. Now I can enchant that again to make it 1445 damage. So now we're going to put the Dark Shrike onto the Glowbug Squall, and it is going to be Glowbugs, and again, base of 1145. We can boost that up, or you can enchant it, but it stays at 1145, because we did not boost it up with Epic. So even though this looks absolutely amazing, okay, enchant those Glowbugs. Wow, 820. Enchant that Shrike. Whoa, 375. That's going to be like so much. It literally just goes back to the Glowbugs. So number 1, you just wasted 2 epic cards to turn it into a base spell that is the same that you get when you fuse the Dark Shrike with the Glowbugs anyway. So you wasted 2 epics and you wasted a turn. And the same thing with this, where I enchant the Dark Shrike with Monstrology and then I put it on the Glowbug. Look at that, it took it off. So you're wasting cards. Only enchant after a fusion. And as with all these, you can only get that increased damage after the fusion. Boom, 1445. And don't feel bad if you thought that you were getting some awesome upgrades, because most people, myself included, were not doing the math while they were doing it, because 1, it's a short amount of time in which you have to do this, and 2, you probably didn't pay attention to what the base was versus what was actually happening when you were double or triple enchanting those spells. I was thinking, wow, you can enchant one, then the other, then fuse them, and then enchant them again. Well, yeah, you can, but you're wasting 2 of those cards, because once you fuse them, it just deleted everything you just did, and those cards are gone forever, and a turn is wasted, and sometimes speed is the name of the game. So you only need 1 damage enchant, or perhaps Sharpened Blade, or Radical if that's what you're going for, because a spell like, just say Dark and Stormy. I can increase this heal right here to 1500, which is awesome. Once you upgrade these, then your base after the fusion will be whichever one of these it's on. That's why we have an upgrade path for it. Same thing with sound and musicology. If I had upgraded it to tier 2, the base would have been 1440 instead of 1425. So whatever you currently have it on, that's what the base fusion is going to look like. And of course, this is just sound and musicology and Fear of the Dark, for example. But all the spells will have their versions that can be shadow enhanced. Right now, the only one that has the most spells for me is Storm. That's why I'm using it to show this example. So hopefully I've saved you just a little bit of time and frustration when it comes to the new shadow system. Let me know if you have any further questions about these shadow spells on how to use them. I will get the answer to that as soon as possible, and we will see y'all in the next one. Gargoyles!